Welcome back, spiritual angels. Okay, let's get into it with these cards. So, I'm channeling that there is a situation that this collective is under for some, and it's like you have a close relationship with someone. It might even be your partner, but you guys are like a totally fated pair. And throughout the years, it's become kind of like almost like a codependent thing. At least that's what people looking from the outside would probably call it that. But you guys just are a, a pair. Like you guys are just each other's person. And it's like you know it. And so you are feeling kind of like you've been waiting around and you're kind of getting concerned because you know that something meaningful is going to happen, but you're kind of tired of waiting for it to happen. But deep down inside, the interesting thing is, deep down inside, you know that it's going to happen. You're just having a hard time just kind of waiting and being patient about things. It's like you generate the energy at times to keep going and continue what your practice is and your self-care and self-love, and then all of a sudden you get triggered and it just kind of throws you for a loop. um, but you're being asked by the ancestors to reflect on your journey because that person, that twin flame, is always going to be your support system. And maybe things are strange or have been a little strange recently, but you guys are a fated pair, so hang on in there. And I get the sense that you're just gonna have to use the same type of patience that you've used around this individual, like your whole relationship. And so I feel like that somehow is keeping you in a sense of stagnation and feeling kind of blocked. And so the ancestors are also telling me that coming up in the near future, you're gonna feel really confused. You're gonna be thrown like some triggers, probably on a high level, but you're also um, being asked to be very um, vigilant, hyper vigilant, cleanse your energy, be very selective around the people and the energies that you allow around you and that you go around, because, like I've mentioned in other readings, since you've leveled up and you're ascending, the attacks are going to get more creative, I want to say, but I feel like you guys are protected in that realm. And I think, like, you guys know, I feel like you guys are finally kind of like falling, like, right, like, um, I feel like you guys are finally getting to that point where you're mentally, physically, like, in a good place, but you just still have little pockets of like weirdness and unsettledness. And the ancestors are saying that's because, those are those leftover triggers. You've conquered, you've overcome, but there's always going to be those leftover, stagnant energies, little pockets of, you know, um, jealousy and, you know, spiritual attacks. You guys are protected, but there's, there's things that could still kind of graze you. I guess that's kind of like, well, that's the word that the ancestors were using. Sometimes you'll get a little bit grazed and you'll be triggered, but you've made very, very significant, steady progress So don't dwell. Many blessings to all.